evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Tonight, ECOWAS Army chiefs to meet in Accra on Thursday, August 17, to discuss possible intervention in Niger.
Also tonight, cumbersome process through deliberate or unintentional means blamed for delays in acquiring a passport despite transition from manual to electronic.
Later in the bulletin, tricycle operations in Central Business District of Accra are part of the region to be restricted in a bid to reduce traffic and create conducive environment.
In business news, Ghana Revenue Authority arrests managers of 3 hotels and 1 supermarket for VAT infractions.
On the international front, former U.S. President Donald Trump charged with attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state of Georgia.
Details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
We are starting from the big news happening within the sub-region, but specifically from Parliament, where ECOWAS Army chiefs will meet in Accra on Thursday, the 17th of August, to discuss a possible intervention in Niger, where a military junta held a coup last month. Ministers of Defense, Interior and National Security have been meeting with Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee. Let's speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Komla Kluche, who's been in the House through that meeting for a quick update on this. Komla, good evening. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Martin.
Right. Are you able to tell us what are some of the highlights are from this meeting?
Well, Martin, I can tell you that 13 members on the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament met today. 13 out of 18 of them met today. This is exclusive of the Army chiefs and then the Defense, the Interior, and the National Security Minister. I mean, it was a simple one that Ghana needed to make a move in this jointly with the ECOWAS team. And the insistence by the 3 security ministers herein, the Minister of Interior, the Minister of Defense, and also National Security, was to the effect that Ghana has had a stellar performance when it comes to the ECOWAS sub-regional body regarding security deployment and also on the issue of peacekeeping. And so all the neighboring countries or the countries within the sub-region were looking up to Ghana. Yes, we may not have the finances, but as a matter of fact, in terms of the strength of the military and all that, they needed to make a move. The members of the committee demanded a lot more explanation. The ministers were not forthcoming with respect to the number of troops that they are going to deploy, from what we gather from our sources. We also know that the minority remain averse to it, that we are not in the position to deploy troops now because already we have challenges within the country which has not been dealt with yet. And if we are going into the Niger sector where our troops are going to be deployed, I mean, this may not augur well for us. And the fact also remains that this issue about the Niger takeover by the military has had a toll on vegetable sellers, especially the onion supply chain. And so they made the fact that, I mean, we do not have what it takes as it is now, because the challenges that we are facing, not just the security, but also the economic-wise, it is not a prudent thing to be able to go. But if they even have to do this, well, Parliament as a whole, 275 members of Parliament are required to take that decision. The Defense and Interior Committee, yes, oversees this, but they are supposed to report to Parliament on what it is. The security chiefs or the ministers have taken the lead and have spoken to the committee. It is now left with the committee to go ahead and give a report to Parliament. Parliament is on recess now, and so if any decision has to be taken, it has to be reconvened. The Speaker has to do that, and when it's done, the House will take a decision. But it does not appear that anytime soon Parliament will resume or will reconvene. They are out for break for about 3 months or so, and they'll be coming somewhere late in October. And so it does not appear. But we're also getting indications that the ministers were bent on it, even though the minority had insisted that they are averse to it. It does appear that members on the majority side on the committee have supported the move because, yes, there are gains that Ghana may also gain from it, but also the fact that they want to maintain that record of stellar performance that Ghana has had within the sub-region when it comes to peace and security.
Right.
But
Komla,
we also get the indication. We also get an indication that the defense chiefs are meeting on Thursday. That's the 17th of August at the Bema camp, and shortly thereafter, it's likely to be a deployment of troops to the Niger. So this is where the contention is, and how Ghana is going to go about it, because they need a parliamentary approval. Well, it's quite unclear what's going to happen.
Right, Komla, and just before you go, are you able to give us some specific details as to what exactly was discussed in the meeting, including the likes of how many troops Ghana is going to contribute to the men who will be sent to Niger, logistics, and is it the entire committee that agreed that Ghana should go to war, although we are signed on as partners in the ECOWAS treaty?
The ministers were not forthcoming with the number of troops from what our sources do tell us. They were not forthcoming with the number of troops because, yes, as it is now, it's quite a dicey one because you need some form of approval before you'll be able to do the deployment and all that. And it's quite a laborious one. And so they were not able to give the number of troops that they would want to send. However, members on the minority are just opposed to every other thing regarding the request, so to speak, being made by the ministers. And so the only details that have been made available to us is the fact that, yes, they have informed the committee, but the committee has not taken any decision. They cannot even take a decision on their own because they are just a subset of the whole nomenclature of the legislature.
Komla Kluche, thank you very much. He's our parliamentary correspondent, and as he gave that indication there, the ECOWAS Chiefs of Defense Staff are meeting in Accra on Thursday, and a final decision on how to deploy and roll out into Niger will be drawn out.
Meanwhile, international security consultant, Colonel retired Festus Abuaje, is questioning the basis of a military intervention in Niger. He says Ghana could compromise its national sovereignty should it contribute troops to the ECOWAS standby force.
My attention was drawn to Article 40 of the Ghana Constitution, which covers international relations. Not surprisingly, the first provision under this article is that in our dealings with other nations, our government, the government that we elect, shall promote and protect the interest of Ghana. So what is the interest of Ghana in the intervention in Niger? During the decision, it should be clear that when the government comes out to say that Ghana is going to be part of the ECOWAS intervention, that the government articulates how that is going to serve the national interest. Before you end that provision, it also says that we shall first pursue pacific settlement of disputes, that settlement of international disputes by peaceful means. So the question is, what peaceful means have Ghana been part of? So far, Ghana has not told us what the risks are. You see what I mean? It's just saying that we belong to a multilateral organization called ECOWAS, signed the ECOWAS treaty and so on and so forth. Does that mean that when ECOWAS is going into a ditch, we go along with ECOWAS into the ditch? Then the government has not told us where it's going to find the means to support this endeavor. Some have suggested it's going to come from France. Look, we're going to compromise our sovereignty, but there's no free lunch anywhere in the world. And I want Ghanaians to go and read Dr. Obed Asamoah's book, that thick book, and read how he articulates how both Nigeria and Libya were twisting the arms of Ghana to do the bidding of Nigeria and do the bidding of Gaddafi. Just because we're in dire straits, and they gave us oil, and they paid for our troops in ECOMOG. So if Ghana cannot pay for this intervention, Ghana must not be part of it. And I want to suggest that, given the economic circumstances that we are in, it can never, or it will be very difficult in the national interest to spend money on this intervention.
The issue of the coup in Niger is a very fluid situation. We'll definitely update you when we do get any updates on that. Let's stay on issues regarding the continent, because former Nigerian President General Olusegun Obasanjo has blamed poor leadership and governance for the continent's woes. He believes change can only occur if youth take a key role in governance and positively change the narrative. He was speaking at the 15th African Youth and Governance Summit at Mankasim in the Central Region.
In the last 5 years, Africa has recorded 8 of its democratically elected heads of state toppled in coups by military juntas. 5 of the coups happened in West Africa. The recent coup in Niger, which ousted Mohamed Bazoum, has prompted members of the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, to take action. ECOWAS has tabled among options to deploy the military to intervene in the case of Niger and reinstate Mohamed Bazoum as head of state of that country. Addressing the 15th African Youth and Governance Summit, former President of Nigeria, General Olusegun Obasanjo, blamed the military overthrows on abysmal administrative performance.
The reason or cause for the situation we are in is simply, let us put it as it is simply leadership and governance. We are in bad shape. We are in bad situation because leadership and governance in our different countries, in our sub-region, and indeed in our region of Africa have not been what it should be.
He is, however, concerned that military juntas who have held on to power are not ready to return such countries to democratic rule.
And what we have in West Africa today is not just unconstitutional change of government that will transition to civilian or civil government quickly. No. I visited one of the countries not too long ago, and after 2 nights, I came out with the feeling that the young boys who are in charge of government, military, are not thinking of transitioning in 3 years, in 5 years, not even in 10 years. They are thinking of 1 generation. They believe they require a generation to bring about the necessary change to the vestiges of colonialism, neo-colonialism, and bad governance.
Let's now focus on passport acquisition, and concerns have been raised over the cumbersome process in acquiring a passport despite its movement from manual to electronic. Judith Awotwe-Tando was at one of Accra's most popular passport offices and reports.
It's now so common. The struggle to acquire a passport for some has become an extreme sport. Long queues to access offices, long queues to capture your biometrics, and if you're not lucky, even longer waiting periods to get a printed copy of your passport.
Yeah, I applied for a passport somewhere last year, around December, and up till now, I've not gotten it. And that was even premium. So I personally do not understand what's happening in the country, because I've been to the passport office a couple of times, and then they will tell you that it's not yet ready, go and come. The long queue, certain times I may even go, and then I may not even get to where I would even meet the authorities to speak to.
3 years ago, it seemed all was about to change when the passport acquisition process was meant to go fully digital. The early reviews were good, as the system got rid of middlemen who dragged it out and profited from it. But it did not last. Complaints about a lack of printed material caused long details in issuance of passports. It is frustrating those desperately in need of passports.
At times I wonder if we are still living in a country like Ghana. I applied for my passport. That was renewal. That was in January. I've been going there. The last time I went there, I was directed to go and see somebody, only for that person to tell me that if I want my passport within a week or a month, I should pay 600 cedis. And I was like, how?
The increasing concerns have now reached the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and on Monday, August 7th, the minister stormed major passport centers, vowing to restore sanity in the process.
And when I say illegal activities, we all know, just 2 days ago, the report in the Daily Guide that the issue of Goro people involved in our passport acquisition process has become rife. It is wrong.
She also sacked some public officers on secondment at the passport office who have overstayed their time. Patrons today complained nothing much has changed, especially for those who go through the normal process.
I was told by a friend that filling it online and then getting through the normal process is quite difficult. So you pay something small, you go fast. So actually I needed a passport for something urgently. So I recommended for the premium. So the lady took me 1,500 and then promised to do the premium for me, but ended up doing the standard, of which I think is a cheat.
For now, many can only clinch on the hope that the acquisition process might work for all as it should. Judith Awachitando, TV3 News, Accra.
Meanwhile, acquiring passports from the Ashanti and Western regions could also be frustrating, but not in Tamale, the capital town of the Northern region. There is more in the following report.
In Kumasi, some applicants were frustrated over what they described as undue delays in acquiring their passports, following the usual congestion.
I applied for passports somewhere last year, around December, and up till now, I've not gotten it. And that was even premium. So I personally do not understand what's happening in the country, because I've been to the passport office a couple of times and then they will tell you that it's not yet ready, go and come. The long queue, certain times I may even go and then I may not even get to where I would even meet the authorities to speak to, because there are long queues and then it's quite frustrating.
I applied for my passport. That was renewal. That was in January. I've been going there. The last time I went there, I was directed to go and see somebody, only for that person to tell me that if I want my passport within a week or a month, I should pay 600 cedis. And I was like, how? I've paid for the passport. That was 100 cedis.
Well, we seem to be having a little issue regarding passport acquisition, but if you also have an experience, do let us know what that experience is. We'll be happy to share to the rest of the world on our various social media platforms.
Let's now continue with the rest of our stories. And in a bid to reduce traffic and create a conducive business environment, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council has served notice to restrict the movement of motorized tricycles. 13 out of 47 metropolitan, municipal and districts within the region are expected to formulate bylaws for implementation. Grace Hamwa Ajiman has been following this development.
The Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, in a statement, has restricted the operations of these tricycles within the central business district and some principal streets in Accra, which it says causes heavy traffic congestion, chaotic scenes with indiscriminate parking and flouting of traffic regulations. The restriction is therefore to create a conducive environment for businesses to thrive and for the comfort of travelers. Here at the Agbogboloshi market at Old Fadama, these operators were busily going about their business without any knowledge of the new directive, which they tell me would impede their work.
This is where most of us get our income from to cater for ourselves. So without using this pragya, I think that one will affect us a lot. We are students here. All of us here, we are students. Due to the poverty in our families, we found ourselves here doing businesses.
It's a big problem because me myself, without money, I can't further up. This is where I get money to pay my school fees.
They claim to be traffic compliant.
Traffic now almost there, of course, you know. And yeah, cause traffic, you know, because yeah, parking one way, say, or be bar, on so one side, even parking view.
We make sure we obey all the traffic regulations, so it's not true that we congest the markets.
And see, almost there, cause traffic, yeah, I know the intimate your
These tricycles have also become relief for many who engage their services.
Send your taxi beji and yes, Anna Pragia cast no beji. And a baby, I'll pass a wooden corner so to me do honum. A taxi or do beji na kwa.
Their charges are cheaper, and that's why we patronize them. Government should allow them to operate. The 13 metropolitan municipalities and districts comprising Accra Metropolitan, Krowo, Korle Klottey, Tema Metropolitan, La Dadekotopong, Lankwantanan Madina, Ayawaso East, Ayawaso West, Ayawaso Central, Ayawaso North, Lejikuku, Okaikwe North, and Adenta Municipal are expected to formulate bylaws for the smooth implementation of this directive. The Greater Accra Regional Minister says bylaws for the implementation of this directive have already been sanctioned, and so the enforcement should begin in the next few days. We know how it ended in the Ashanti region, and we wait to see how it will also end in the Greater Accra region. Grace Hamwa Ajuman, TV3 News, Old Fadama.
In a related development, a senior fellow at the Transport Research and Education Center of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Gift Dumeda, has said that limiting the number of tricycles operating within the Central Business District should be seen as an alternative of reducing congestion rather than restricting their movements, considering the key role they play in the current transport sector. He says congestion in the city is not caused by only tricycle operators but other service providers. His remarks come on the back of a directive by the Greater Accra Coordinating Council and the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to ban the movement of tricycles in the Central Business Districts.
Tricycle operators are part of the stakeholders for providing transport service within the city. Are there too many pragia operating in CBD? Perhaps we could look at that to see if we could reduce the number of pragia that are actually currently operating in the city and work with the Association of Pragia Drivers to limit their numbers and perhaps also run some sort of a shift for them so that they can also continue to provide service to the traveling public. I do not think that removing them forcefully is the solution. It is discriminatory. It is targeting pragia operators disproportionately because road traffic crashes and congestion is not just the role of a single service provider. It involves several other providers. So we should not single out only pragia operators alone. The problem of traffic congestion is driven by our land use planning and how it is executed on the ground.
Hundreds of mechanics close to the Nima runabout in Accra have been evicted by the Ayawaso East Municipal Assembly. The mechanics say the move is an attempt to deny them of their livelihood. According to the affected workers, the land on which they operate on has been earmarked for an Agenda 111 project by government.
The mechanics say they have had discussions with traditional owners of the land about the intent of the Ayawaso East Municipal Assembly to put up the Agenda 111 project. There were no timelines given as to when they will be asked to move out of the land for the project to start. They claim to their surprise this dawn they saw armed policemen with an excavator demolishing their property without notice.
Now, the government, he cannot do anything to us because if the government will do something for us, here he can build a factory here. He can bring children here to learn work. Even if it's a shop, we have school there. Children finish their school year, they come here and do practicals, even from ATTC. They come here to do more practicals here. They bring people from NGO, come and learn work here. We don't take even 1 cedi from them because we want them to benefit what we are working from here.
The La General Hospital, which was demolished by the government to make way for the planned rehabilitation to improve health care delivery, has been abandoned for over 3 years. The mechanics believe the demolition will not serve any purpose. Representative of Ni Odoi Kwao family in Usu, owners of the land, Robert Barnes Kumsing, alleged government has failed to negotiate with the family.
You don't take land before you negotiate. You don't go into a negotiation week. And you have taken a family's land. You are taking people's livelihoods from their hands and you want to take it by force without showing any proof. Now, these people here want to go. If they will go because it's a hospital. Their kids will come here. They themselves will get sick and come here. But their question is that what proof do they have that if they leave, they will know that they are going somewhere else or they will have food to eat? That is our problem.
The mechanics are counting their losses whilst others packed their debris. The Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly is yet to respond to the issue.
Now, 9 victims in the Wa serial defilement case gave testimony before the judge on the first day of the hearing. The case, which was not open to the public, stretched for over 2 hours, with the accused unable to directly address the victims.
Ahmed Rashid, aka Anata, is charged with 18 counts of defilement, attempted defilement and indecent assault. On Tuesday, August 15, he was to meet several of the victims for the first time because a hearing started behind closed doors. 9 of the survivors appeared to testify against him during the more than 2 hours of closed-door court hearings. The accused became sober upon seeing the victims and dropped his head, unwilling to face them directly. As the case progressed, the judge had to repeatedly tell him to maintain his posture. More victims are scheduled to testify on Wednesday, August 16, which increases the likelihood that the hearing will be over in a record month, according to the prosecution led by the Chief State Attorney Said Shakor.
Also watching News 360 on TV3, and still to come, we'll bring you a response from the Education Ministry to calls for a review of the free senior high school policy by the Ghana National Association of Teachers and other stakeholders within the education fraternity. Details of that and many more right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Choose Sukasa for the highest quality, luxurious townhouses in East Lagoon Hills. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom in a gated community starting at $40,000 in Accra, Ghana. Sukasa, building on trust.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better and better.
All in the language of your choice. All in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder plus 1 month compact for 299 CDs. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Day men, strong and refined, the skincare you deserve. Dream.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
It's now time for the latest in the world of business news with Pa Kwesi Asare. Pa,
why are you so excited?
What do you have for us today?
Hi, Martin. How are you doing?
Not bad, thank you.
Good to see you guys. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the very latest in the world of business. Now, managers of 3 hotels in Dansoman and North Kaneshie in the Greater Accra region have been arrested by the police for failing to issue value-added tax invoices. Assistant Commissioner of the Accra Area Enforcement Team of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Joseph Anand, says the 3 will aid the police in investigations as part of enforcement of the test purchase program of the authority.
The facilities are Mascot Hotel, Dansoman, Legacy Hotel, North Kaneshie, Kigali Hotel, Sakaman Estates, and the 4th company, Silver Clouds, a wholesale supermarket that issues the VAT invoices selectively to customers, an act that contradicts the VAT law. The custom compliance team of the Ghana Revenue Authority paid an unannounced visit to some retail outlets and hospitality centers in Accra, proven to have defaulted in issuing VAT invoices, although registered with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Assistant Commissioner of the Accra Central Area in charge of enforcement, Joseph Anand, said processes will be expedited to arraign the culprits before court.
Last year, the collection for VAT was 646, thereabout, million cedis, Ghana cedis. This year, it has jumped up to 1.2 billion average. That is by Bank of Ghana governance report. They established, collection for VAT, which works up to around 92.4% increase in the growth of VAT.
The authority intends to continue the exercise to bring sanity in the system and bring improvement in revenue collection.
In other news tonight, findings from Ghana's 2022 Trade Vulnerability Report indicates that 4 countries, Switzerland, China, Canada, and South Africa, accounts for over half of all exports. Meanwhile, 6 countries, China, UK, Netherlands, the USA, India, and Switzerland, are the source of about half of all imports. The report highlights Ghana's international trade vulnerability.
Ghana's exports are mainly raw materials. Total imports in 2022 were 148.6 billion cedis, while total exports were 144.1 billion cedis, indicating a trade deficit of 4.5 billion cedis. 6 countries, China, UK, Netherlands, USA, India, and Switzerland, are the source of about half of all imports, with highest coming from China. The report highlights Ghana's international trade vulnerability.
Although we see a 4.3 billion Ghana cedis between the exports of mineral fuels and oils, as against the imports of the same classification, minerals, fuels, and oil, it begs the question whether we have fully harnessed the natural resource that since 2011 we've been enjoying. Going forward, what is the strategy to ensure that we see a reverse?
Professor Charles Goffred Aka at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research observes Ghana will continue to seek support from the IMF if the country does not diversify its international trade.
Can pick such industries, maybe 20 of them, 30 of them, 50 of them, and government can support them with all the tax incentives, all the export, facilitation to make sure that they have access to cheap credit, they have access to training, and they're able to export almost all over the world. Then you can get more export revenue.
President of Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Eyimdake, called for support from government in order to change the trend.
It's an ability to add value to this 98% before they are exported. That is what we call the structural change. The structural rigidity of this economy is what has been demonstrated. We must tackle them head on and transform this said economy.
Ghana's international trade vulnerability has the potential to constrain the strengthening of the economy.
An economist with the University of Ghana, Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie, has kicked against the implementation of zero financing of the government's budget by the central bank. Dr. Sarkodie maintained that looking at the current structure of the economy and the financing challenges facing the country, an increase in the 5% ceiling should be considered.
The government is doing a debt restructuring program, and it will be a challenging situation for the government to raise additional bonds, even from the domestic market. The central bank is also the lender of last resort. And so we should allow some room of financing from the central bank. We can go back to the famous 0 to 5%, that's up to 5%, financing from the central bank. And even if it becomes necessary for the government to go beyond the 5%, the governor can write to parliamentarians for the parliamentarians to give them the power or to give them the mandate to increase the ceiling, even if...
That's it for the very latest in the world of business. For more business news stories, do also visit our website. It's www.3news.com.
Thank you so much, Pa Kwesi. Let's continue with the rest of our stories. And a policy that is not broken does not need fixing. Those are the words of the Public Relations Officer to the Education Ministry, Kwesi Kwarteng, in response to calls for a review of the free senior high school policy by the Ghana National Association of Teachers. The calls come on the back of concerns of funding, tax, and other challenges raised by the association. Judith Awotri-Tando has more in this report.
Once again, the free senior high school policy has come under heavy scrutiny. The flagship policy by the NPP government, which as at 2022 had expended in excess of 10 billion cedis, is yet again a subject of criticism. And the question as to whether the policy should be reviewed or not has reappeared in the trends. You'd recall that aside the many calls for review over the years, the International Monetary Fund, in an attempt to approve the much sought for bailout, added its voice, calling the policy a poorly targeted venture. Even then, there was no sign of review. The Ghana National Association of Teachers has repeated its call for a dialogue to consider a review of the policy.
If you look at the 2019-2020 report, it also tells us that 728,382 children, ages 15 to 17 years, who are supposed to be in SHS, they are not in school. This is the budget. This is not mine. This is the 2023 budget. With a promise that we are going to review it, and within 6 weeks, we get it done. 8 months down the line, I have not seen a single review that has been done. Basic school capitation grant is in arrears for over 5 terms. How do you improve quality of teaching and learning?
Their demands, based primarily on funding and other concerns, have been backed by educationist Peter Patianti, who has questioned the sustainability of funding the policy. He further says no government policy must be allowed to run for 7 years without review.
You can't run a policy for almost 7 years, and you don't have a comprehensive review of the policy that you will share with the general public, that states the strengths of the policy, that states the challenges that you have faced throughout the implementation process, and that gives direction as to how the policy is going to be carried forward in the near future.
But Education Ministry PRO Kwesi Kwarteng, in response, has reiterated the popular words of the Education Minister. He says the policy, once not broken, does not need fixing.
I'm not sure the whole conversation is a whole review of the whole phrase HS program. If they have any issue with regards to any component, I'm sure they are stakeholders. Like all of us, we are stakeholders. I have brothers and sisters in schools. It would interest you to know that we may even have, our children in school. So it is not as though we neglect whatever concern that everybody is saying. But I'm saying that our point is that now that it is not broken, why should we fix something that is not broken?
It is unclear whether government will finally heed the calls of stakeholders in the education sector. But until then, one thing is clear, that they will not relent in their efforts to call for a review. Judith Awachutando, TV3 News.
Coming up is sports news with Thierry Nyan.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family, because every smile matters.
New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Wait a minute, yo!
It's on my nephew!
Wow, this place has changed, yo! Yo, Ajma, look at you all grown up, yo!
Some things never change, like Gino's quality recipe that gives my food that rich color, unique natural taste every time.
Smells good, yo!
Hey, sister, we did what Ponsano and Casa, just like I remember.
Uncle, hurry up and let's open the suitcase.
Ajua, chai, never shrink quite far.
Best jollof I've ever eaten.
Wow, this is real jollof, mommy.
Gino dear, Emma Adriana de Ankasa.
Say Gino dear, fie.
It's delicious, yo!
This advert is FDA approved.
With Global, you order anything you want, and when you receive it, you celebrate it with your whole body. Because when that tasty grilled chicken is here, the weekend starts. The ingredients for your favorite recipe just in time. And when the cake arrives, the party is on. Because receiving anything on Global deserves a dance. Download the app, order anything you want, and track it minute by minute until it arrives. Global. Order anything, we deliver in minutes.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Hello, good evening, and it's time for us to bring you the latest in the world of sports with me, Thierry Nyan. After the exploits of Samuel Techi and Joseph Kome at the 2022 Commonwealth Games, UK-based Ghanaian boxer Seth Jima has hinted that he will be representing Ghana for the upcoming Olympic Games qualifiers to be held in Paris, France in 2024. There is more in this report.
The decision to switch nationality comes as a surprise to many, as the Ghana Boxing Authority had previously stated that Seth Jima had pledged his allegiance to the United Kingdom. Jima says his choice is an expression of his enthusiasm to serve Ghana.
I think it's only right to give back to my country, my motherland, make my friends and family in the country proud as well. I mean, I grew up in Ghana. That's where I was born, you know. And I'm again, so why not, if my country needs me in a time, then I can also give it back to them.
Popularly known as Freezing McBones, Jima left Ghana for the UK in 2012. He wasn't introduced to boxing until 2017. A technical knockout over CJ Wood in his first light heavyweight test drew the world's attention to him after his videos went viral. After defeating Daryl Sharp at London's Copper Boxing Arena in 2012, as the undercard of the bout between Joe Joyce and Zilel Zhang, the boxer was billed for his third professional bout in July, but it was cancelled. The 33-year-old has committed to challenging for a place in the Paris 2024 Olympics. The dream can only be achieved if he is able to sail through the Africa qualifiers. Freezy has no experience of fighting on the continent, but the boxer is adamant he has a chance to be in Paris.
I think it's very interesting because they will say something like, when I come, they're going to kind of try like to give me some people to spar. And I was like, okay, interesting. All right, so I'm gonna have some few people to fight in maybe Bochum Arena. And I can't wait to see the family, the kid, the friends and support and fans as well.
Jima is expected to join the Black Bombers in Accra to fine-tune preparations before making the trip to Dakar, Senegal for the Africa qualification bouts next month.
All right, now England take on co-host Australia in the second semi-final of the ongoing Women's World Cup on Tuesday. The winner of the tie will face Spain in Sydney on Sunday in the grand finale. 3 Sports' Frank Echampong has more in the story.
Australia and England are set to resume their decades-old sporting rivalry when they meet in the second Women's World Cup semi-final in Sydney. Co-host Australia will have the nation behind them for the first World Cup semi-final in their history, and Stadium Australia will be heaving with an anticipated crowd of about 80,000 on Wednesday. However, England are the reigning European champions and will be favourites to reach the final of the World Cup for the first time, even if they must face down a hostile crowd. The Matildas became the first home team since the United States in 1999 to win the quarter-final in 9 Women's World Cups when they eliminated tournament favourites France. Star striker Sam Kerr is expected to start the match after a calf injury, although coach Gustafsson has stopped short of confirming her name on the team sheet. The biggest name missing from England's team sheet will be James, who will be hoping her team can progress to the final, making her eligible for the last and biggest match of the tournament. With both teams looking forward to make history, this game will be one for the books.
Now, Brazil forward Neymar has joined Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal from French champion. Understood to be worth about 90 million euros plus add-ons. Neymar, who joined PSG for a world record fee of 200 million pounds in 2017, was left out of their squad for Saturday's League 1 draw against Lorient. The 31-year-old was told he wasn't part of coach Luis Enrique's plans for the season and will now play in the Saudi Pro League. And then Chelsea remain busy in the market, while Arsenal have added another goalkeeper to their ranks for the 2023-2024 season. Here is our transfer wrap for today.
Arsenal have signed Spanish goalkeeper David Raya on a season-long loan from Brentford with the option to make the move permanent. The 27-year-old will provide competition for England keeper Aaron Ramsdale and has taken the number 22 shirt. Kepa Arrizabalaga has set sights on a permanent stay at Real Madrid after completing his season-long loan move from Chelsea on Tuesday. He was unveiled in Madrid on Tuesday as a replacement for Belgian shotstopper Thibaut Courtois, who is out for an extended period with an injury. Leicester City have confirmed the signing of Cesare Casadei on loan from Chelsea for the 2023-24 season. The Italian midfielder spent pre-season with the Blues first team in the United States training under Mauricio Pochettino. Brazilian wingback Carlos Augusto has joined Inter Milan on loan from Monza with an option to buy and the requirement to make the transfer permanent upon certain conditions being met. The 24-year-old replaces Robin Gosens, who is set to sign a contract with Union Berlin. West Ham's move for Manchester United's Harry Maguire has stalled with the club focusing on other targets. A £30 million deal was agreed on 9th August, but the Hammers have received no word.
All right, and that'll be all for the sports here on News 360. With me, Theo. We're going to bring you some more sports subsequently right here on TV3 Entertainment. Follows this one.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Mami Musa was same yansa. Mun networks are use no. I'm praying and I'm recharge ya. Munyam faso everyone so. Ah, mabwa, kapre, way. And that's what you want. Muntian Kabo Detroit. Vodafone say every Saturday, a Brevia Uber recharge from 5 cities El Cobiano. Assigned with seek up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash so. It shock you? What did you hear say? Uber recharge. Say my Vodafone app. Vodafone cash. Credit transfer. Short code. Emubia. Uradia.
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's double promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone double promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water. GTP, Lifestyled. Vodafone, further together. And powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for entertainment, and Anita is with us. Hello, Anita.
Hi, Martin. Hi, Portia.
Hi. What's going on in entertainment?
So, Lynx Entertainment signee Maya Blue.
Hey, I was about to say Dope Nation.
So, she's out with a new EP, Just Blue on it. And so, we're at the EP listening, and we have some highlights.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
All
right. So, let's get into the details. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. And less than a year after officially signing on to Lynx Entertainment, Fast Horizon musician Maya Blue is out with her first EP titled Just Blue on It. The 5-track EP comes with songs like Changeover, Talk Too Much, and a host of others. Here are some highlights from the EP listening.
Soon after the release of their joint EP, Lynx Entertainment signee Maya Blue has been conscious in cementing her name in the music industry. Events like the show experience and countless high school tours afforded her the opportunity to connect with fans. After months of consistency, Maya Blue is finally out with a 5-track EP she calls Just Blue on It, which captures her musical journey. Songs on the EP include Changeover, Talk Too Much, Antidote, Owner, amongst others. Speaking at the listening party, the show composer was elated that her hard work is getting recognized.
I mean, it's just quite amazing that the hard work you put into something is actually paying off. And I'm so happy that everyone looks happy, after hearing the EP. And it makes me, so excited. Like, I feel like I've really worked hard, and thank me for not giving up on myself and for trying many things. And yeah, definitely, you go far.
Go far. Oh, definitely. The future looks promising. But other label mates in attendance lauded Maya Blue for her determination and consistency.
Me, I think one of the people I'm really going to applaud is Maya herself, because she's really worked hard, to achieve this. Because trust me, she sings, and she had to understand that it wasn't all about the voice. There's the hard work part is also important, which she took very serious. She keep on doing what she's doing, and I just pray for more grace so that she doesn't get tired on the road. Because trust me, this thing can be very tiring.
Maya is working so hard. We're in the same space, but that this girl is putting a lot of work. Her life depends on it, and you can see it with the outcome. 5 amazing songs. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly when it's coming out, so I'm really, really hoping that it comes out soon, because the songs are amazing. That's the Talk Too Much one was really good. I can't wait for the world to hear this. These are amazing projects.
And away from music, popular Barbie movie has broken numerous records since its July 21 opening, and the blockbuster is close to breaking another one. The movie raked in a stunning $155 million domestically in its opening weekend, and last week it joined the $1 billion club in global box office sales, a feat only achieved by only 50 films in history. The marketing campaign was the first hint that the comedy about the iconic viral doll would be a box office smash. An award-winning music duo, Dope Nation, is on the move to create a unique sound with their artistry. And speaking on New Day earlier, the duo noted that creatives should take full advantage of the attention on the African music that is becoming a global sensation.
So there are elements of Hamas tunes in there. Yeah, and what we are trying to do is we are trying to churn a new sound.
Okay.
The name of the sound is Ghana Piano.
Ghana Piano?
Yes.
The Niger people won't be happy.
Why? Yeah,
they said they are the ones that have made Amapiano what it is today.
Yeah, but this is not to fight anyone's intellectual property. You know, we are just trying to give credence to everybody, and at the same time try to churn a new sound. The reason why it's Ghana is because we are taking old and new sounds from the Ghana culture as in musically, and we merge it on the piano.
Well, Ghana Piano to the world. My name is Anita Ekia Ekufuda. We are for the Entertainment News segment. Have a good evening.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been charged with attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state of Georgia. It is the fourth criminal case brought against him in 5 months. Trump, who is the leading Republican candidate for president in 2024, was indicted along with 18 other allies. He denies all 13 charges against him, which include racketeering and election meddling. He has said they are politically motivated. Zambia's anti-money laundering and drug trafficking body has seized close to $6 million in cash at the main airport in the capital, Lusaka. Also seized were 5 pistols, 7 magazines, 126 rounds of ammunition, 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127 kilograms, and equipment used for measuring gold.
And remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and tomorrow morning when you wake up from bed with either Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Pepsodent Charcoal, Pepsodent Herbal, or Pepsodent Triple Protection, because with Pepsodent, every smile matters.
And that's it for our show. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Asiedidate.
I am Portia Gabo. Good evening.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving up Pepsodent,